Hey guys, so there's a popular video right now going around YouTube. It's called Wealth Inequality in America. So I want to talk about that video with you and actually spend most of my time talking about the opposition that I've seen from this video and a lot of the comments. People think that it's bullshit, liberal propaganda as usual. Just to quickly recap what the video is about in case you didn't see it, they distinguish between what the actual distribution of wealth is compared to what people think, compared to what people would want the ideal distribution to be. This just shows what 92% of people think should be the ideal distribution of wealth. This is Democrats and Republicans alike. A lot of people think that this is what it should be. So compared to what people think it should be, this is what they think it actually is. It looks a little bit more unequal, but it's nothing compared to what the actual distribution of wealth is. The top 2 to 5%'s wealth didn't really fit on this chart, so they had to cut it off and move it over to the left. And obviously, as you can see, the 1% had so much that they had to make several stacks of cash because they have 40% of the wealth. Now, before everyone gets their panties in a bunch, I don't want to overtax the rich. I understand their value. I understand that sometimes they pump money back into the economy. I understand individualism. I get all of that. But there has to be some kind of compromise, and there is another side. So how do we solve this problem? Well, Obama wants to increase taxes on the rich. Now, I'm not even saying that we should do that, because the rich are already taxed pretty heavily, but they find all these ways to evade paying their taxes. They have all these loopholes. A lot of rich don't even pay more than 15%. Romney would be an example of that. He pays 15%. Well, most people in the lower middle class are taxed to almost 1/3 of their paycheck. So in my opinion, no, the rich shouldn't have to pay more in taxes, but they should at least have to pay what everyone else is paying. Another thing that this video pointed out that I thought was interesting is that the CEO now makes 380 times the average worker's pay. This is not a poor person, this is not a rich person, it's the average worker's pay. They make 380 times that much. So one of the comments that I saw that was going against this said it has nothing to do with the CEO working 380 times harder. I'm glad that there's no mention of the 380 times worth of higher education, greater creative, innovative, and strategic qualities that they possess, and do not mention that some of them founded the company, which means out of the billions of people in the world, he was the only one driven enough to implement an idea into profitable business. Socialist propaganda catering to an impressionable cattle who lack critical individual thought. Oh my god, another person saying propaganda. I'm so sick of hearing shit like this, and I'm just gonna say this really quick. I like how he made the CEO a guy. Just saying. And yes, I get it, the CEO was creative and innovative and they got a lot of education and they worked really hard, but how rich do you need to be? I mean, Warren Buffett is worth around $60 billion and he even says that the 1% needs to be paying more. And yes, individualism is important. People should try to work hard and try to better their lives and try to be self-reliant. But the truth is, sometimes no matter how hard you work, no matter how many right decisions you make, you still find yourself in an unfortunate situation. And all the fucking individualism in the world is not going to get you where you need to be. Oh, they should just work harder. Let them die in the streets. Who gives a shit? Lazy assholes. Listen to the tone of the narrator trying to lull you into believing this. It's scary. People and corporations, the wealthy, Wall Street, whoever, should be allowed to make as much as they want, keep as much as they can, and pay reasonable amounts of taxes to help the country. Okay, obviously we have different definitions of reasonable. To me, 15% is not reasonable, especially whenever you have a disparity like this. Reasonable to me would be no more than 15 to 20%. Yeah, 15%, that sounds totally reasonable to me, especially when poorer people and middle class people are paying up to 1/3 of their paycheck. That's alright, let the 1% keep their money. I think that that's fair. This video promotes socialism, and for that, look at Europe. Since many people haven't been there, they don't know the truth. Europeans have substandard living conditions, bad teeth, and lousy, unhappy attitudes because they hate their government, because their government controls every aspect of their lives. Oh yeah, those Europeans, they're miserable. Germany has high taxes, a booming economy, and great education. And guess what? Socialist Europe has been far ahead of us in a lot of categories for a long time. And then they said that this video was promoting socialism. No, did you even watch the damn video? They're not asking for socialism. This chart is what socialism looks like. But like I said, this person didn't watch the video if they think that it's promoting socialism. They just saw what it was about and made their conclusions before it even started. They saw wealth disparities and automatically thought, well, socialism. But you've never been to Europe, otherwise you would know how bad things were. Right, look at Germany, look at Switzerland, look at Holland, and yeah, I've been to Europe a ton of times, and every time someone has ever commented on one of my videos from Europe, they never say shit like, oh, I wish I could live in America. They're like, thank God I don't live in America. Man, this video is promoting socialism. It's not promoting socialism, it's just trying to point out that there's a huge disparity and that we should do something about it. But then they use the slippery slope. This is what I like to call the right-winger's slippery slope fallacy. You can't compromise with anything because it's just beginning the slippery slope, like with guns, for example. You can't implement new regulations. What are you doing? It's a slippery slope. Pretty soon they're going to be taking away all of our guns, and the tyrannical government's going to overtake our lives. And then with this, you can't ask the rich to pay more. Oh no, because then you're going to have total socialism and complete redistribution of wealth. Compromise is evil. Compromises of the devil. We shall not compromise ever. They just can't do it. I don't understand. It's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like, This is a real problem. It shows you very clearly in this video, and if you haven't seen it, I hope you watch it. I'll put a link in the description. But this video points out that there's a real problem with the distribution of wealth in this country. People have an idea of what they think is ideal. People have an idea of what they think is actually going on. They have no idea what it actually is. I think if people knew more about what it actually was, they'd have more of a problem with it. Even though you have these people who just see something like this and they automatically go, oh, socialism, they don't want to give it a second thought. I hope that the majority of people who see this video and see the video that I'm talking about can realize that this is a problem and that we need to do something about it, and that compromise isn't the worst thing that could possibly happen, okay? So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And really quick before I leave, I want to direct you to a friend of mine's channel. His channel is Liberal Viewer. Really great videos. If you like my stuff, you'll like his stuff. So please go check out his channel and subscribe. He's getting really close to 100,000 subscribers. So help him out and go subscribe. Tell him I sent you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.